Whatever comes, I'm ready.
What to do?
The sooner we get out of this Gith Warren, the better. I would, but you have so many. In that case, I'd be happy to tag along. Watch your back.
Dawnmaster Seed.
It's lost its glow. That's unfortunate, I think. the sooner we get out of this. Well, obviously I would. What a day.
Looking ahead.
The monastery's notable keeper. Lathendarian monasteries of this size were usually overseen by Dawn Masters, esteemed members of the clergy. The reconsecration of the monastery, conducted by Evensong before the Zenith Day, celebrated by Dawn Master Stockhold. Dawn Master Vassaid wielding... The rest of the inscription and picture has shattered away. Dawn Master Welkin Glory beckons forth. Dawn Master Seed.
Indolence breeds madness.
Dawn Master Vassaid.
There's no time to waste.
All's well that ends. Not as bad as it could have.
This blood sounds important. Could it still be here somewhere?
Indolence breeds madness.
It stopped glowing. Its magic snuffed out. This'll do. Shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times. We are permitted to walk so freely. Such a lack of discipline would be punished severely in Kalir.
Walk freely. This place is as tight as a patriarch's purse.
We should have been disarmed on entry. I'm pleased we won. It's strange.
On my way.
Make way! My faith will protect me. Got to press on. Victory awaits. Blood comes easy these days. On my way. Let's finish this. Got to press on.
eggs at the very least. There's a trap.
A trap? Someone doesn't like visitors.
Very well.
Yes, let's.
Can't give up now.
What's next, I wonder?
Someone there?
Still alive. So that's progress.
Don't touch me.
No time to dally.
Careful, I might. Let's be quick.
At least things have stayed interesting.
Keep a blade close.
Still breathing, despite everything.
What now? Be careful. There are traps. Step lightly. Traps. Be careful. There are traps about. Be careful. There are traps about. Trust me.
Large green egg with an uneven shell. You can see a vague outline of something within it.
Let's get going. On my way. That should more than suffice. An unhatched Githyanki egg should be the burden of a Vash, not a warrior, whether ascended or otherwise. And yet, I'm drawn to the warmth of it. A child of Gith and a servant of Vlaakith grows within. Keep it close. Perhaps in our care, it might yet hatch. And don't you dare pass it to that lunatic woman prowling the mountain pass.
The statue
Thing is
starts to
jam shot.
rotate, but its
Won't
rusty
turn like this.
mechanism jams stuck. The statue starts to rotate, but its rusty mechanism jams stuck.
Keep your distance, darling.
Let's move.
Lathander blesses the rising, bountiful sun. Lathander bids the setting sun a fond farewell.
Statues reveal the hidden door. Curious. Blood? No, never mind. hidden all this time? Another step forward.
Looks untouched. Quite something to have escaped notice all this time.
Eager for battle. A lot on my mind. And well, in it.
of this. Don't waste a step. Cutting to the chase.
Can't afford to stay idle.
All right, what now?
Let's get on with it.
Got a long road ahead.
Bowman says I'll be alright. I'll be alright. I just wish... I wish it was different. I wish Mum and Pops was here. I don't feel so strong. Or anything, really. Just tired.
I suppose not many can boast that they've been to a Githyanki creche and survived. Perhaps that's a good omen for our chances going forward, if you're feeling optimistic. Is that so? Well, I hope you don't intend to make such... Normally, I'd tell you you're just reading too much into things, but... Well, I'll admit it. Staying true to Lady Shah has proved difficult. Wandering to places... Sometimes... When I share, I've always felt nothing is simple anymore. Sometimes it feels like all I have are doubts. The Mother Superior... Forget I ever said anything. I'm just indulging in thoughts best buried.
Greetings.
Looks like we're done here. Pity. This place has been a wild ride.
Need something?
Walking freely out of a Githyanki creche. A miracle if ever I've seen one. And trust me, I've seen quite a few.
Supreme Kithrak, has Vlakith sent you to slay me with your own blade?
I've not come to kill you, Lae'zel. I've come to aid you.
Don't trust him.
Skakek Kir Gith Shabeleth. My blade rests. Mother Gith compels you to listen.
Speak. My ear is yours.
I know you carry the astral prism, Lae'zel. Within it lies the seed of Vlaakith's demise, and I intend to help you bring it to fruition.
Vlaakith's demise? Skaketh! I should run you through for suggesting it.
If they have not said, they must have good reason, and I won't be the one to betray them. But the one inside's chosen you as an ally, protects you with their power. That very power will be the end of Vlaakith's tyranny. The Prism's tenant must be let loose. I've sought their freedom for eons. When the Prism went missing, I feared the worst. Instead, you've granted the opportunity I've so long awaited. All that remains is the key that unchains them. And I've found someone who I believe can provide it. Bring the Prism to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting in a taproom called Shares's Caress. That is where we decide the fate of my people. Lae'zel, together we will break our chains and be Vlaakith's slaves no longer.
I am no slave, just still Kithrak. The Undying Queen is my freedom. It is she who will purify me, and she who will ascend me.
Lies, Lae'zel, every last one. There is no purification, no ascension. The Zaith-Isk does not purify, it extracts memory and kills the infected. Nor does the Lich Queen glorify the ascended. She feeds on most all of them to grow her power and pursue godhood.
Madness! You flood me with this heresy. I will hear no more of it. I served Vlaakith the whole of my life. Learned her words, fought her battles, yet she names me her Sharlak. Your words carry truth. I will meet you in Baldur's Gate. Do not make me regret it.
Lae'zel, I see Talakma Gear in you, sister in freedom. Together, we will be our people's light. Take this. It is a Quanith, a psionic detector. The Queen's warriors hunt you. The Quanith will sound you out when you come near their portals. Hear its cry and prepare for battle, or slip away. I should go. Vlaakith's gaze pierces the seas and skies. She believes me loyal, and I can't afford her mistrust. Keep the astral prism close. Let no one take it from you. Slay any who try. Now to Baldur's Gate. I'll be waiting, Lae'zel.
Well, hello.
Oh, action, not reaction.
How delicious.
Action, not reaction.
Careful, I bite.
No time to rest.
Vlakith Kosivim Hrath Crashet. Only in Vlakith may we find light. These were the first words I ever read on Tirsu's slate. But they are no mere aphorism. They are law. They are creed. The root from which the 10,000 protocols stem. Forsake one protocol, and forsake Vlakith. Forsake Vlakith, and be the blood and meat which sates her dragons. If Voss speaks true, if Ascension is a lie, if tadpole purification is a fairy tale, then I have not sinned against Vlakith. She has sinned against me. Ascension is a young Githyanki's greatest honor. Long ago, the Geich enslaved my people. They dominated our minds and bred us for war, until Great Mother Gith took a hammer to our bonds. From the day of our hatching, young Gith have one purpose: to train hard enough to slay a Geich and take its head. Then, we speak the rite of ascension, and a red dragon comes to fly us to Vlaakith in Tunarath, City of Death. We are honored with an eternal home in the Astral, celebrated for our victory. We are ascended. Or so I believed. I'd never thought Vlaakith a tyrant, or me as a vassal. She was the source of my might, and I the envoy of her will. A warrior, a champion, a destroyer. But if Voss is right, and Vlaakith consumes the Ascended to gain power, then I am no destroyer. I am mere livestock, bred to be harvested and devoured. Every Githyanki is a slave with a singular purpose. Not to cull the Geich, not to prevent their grand design, but to raise Vlaakith to true godhood. I don't know. I can't know, and that drives me mad. At first, I thought them an illithid deception, a trick of the tadpole. But the dream figure is real. It lives in the prism. Voss believes they are the seed of Vlaakith's demise and the agent of Githyanki freedom. And I believe he may be right. Then, when the Kithraki come for me, and come they will, I will submit to their blades. They would feed me to their dragons, and I would deserve no better. Yes, I'd like time to think. We'll meet Kithrak Voss at Sheres's Caress in Baldur's Gate. Until then, be vigilant. Vlaakith's eyes are upon us.
He better be, or I'm a dead man walking. Aren't we all?
So we're going to meet Voss in the city, are we? Set the tenant of the prism free? This is all very, I don't know. I like a good caper, but I'd long for a tiny bit of status quo now and again. No room in your party. What should I do? Excellent. What's cooking? Well, well, well.
Never a dull moment.
Oakfather preserve you. Only by reputation. She was present when we marched against Ketheric Thorm, but on the far end of the battle lines from where I fought. And in the chaos that ensued, well, our forces were scattered. I led some to safety, but never learned of her fate. I'm glad to hear she survived. Though in truth, I should not be surprised. She was always said to be formidable and cunning. I could have learned much from her, no doubt. No matter how long I live, I will always strive to remain a keen pupil. Only a fool would think he could drink in all knowledge until none is left. There is always more. Nature's tapestry is infinitely complex. I cannot help but wonder how she would have handled some of the challenges I faced as Archdruid. Would she have helped the refugees? Defended the Grove? Controlled Korga? At least now we can benefit from her presence, and perhaps work to a common goal. Honestly, I never thought I'd make it that far. But the Absolute is a threat to all, and I promised I'd help you with your parasite. So, I'll remain with you. If you'll have me, that is. So do I. But one duty at a time. I've been unfair to you. I've had unrealistic expectations of your character ever since I joined you. But honestly, you've surpassed even those. Seemed my faith was more than well-founded. Druids and Harpers joined together to put a stop to Ketheric Thorm. We marched on Moonrise, and after much fighting, we prevailed. Even in defeat, though, Ketheric turned to Shah. Not long after we sealed him away in his tomb, the Shadow Curse took hold. No one had seen the likes of it before. No one knew how to react. Then it started to claim all those within its reach. Those who had survived the battles now fell to the Shadows, became part of the Shadows. And worst of all, I lost contact with Thaniel. I wanted to try and find him, but we couldn't stay. We would have all succumbed. When the Archdruid of the Grove, my predecessor, was seized by the curse, I had to lead the survivors to safety. That was my first day as Archdruid. An inauspicious beginning. You're right, but the work is not yet done. Not while Ketheric Thorm still draws breath. It's true, and I can't imagine I helped with that. Sometimes I let the task at hand consume me, and people think I'm obsessed. Trust me, the day I no longer have to talk about the Shadow Curse will be a happy one. What would you like to know? I am? Trust me, it's been said. You show more restraint than most in avoiding the subject until now. Who's to say? Perhaps there's a half-orc buried somewhere in my ancestry. Or perhaps not. Sometimes I think conventional wisdom is too narrow about what someone can or cannot be. Stranger things have most certainly happened. I had a friend when I was young, long ago. He played with me in the forests where I grew up. But eventually, I realized no one else had heard of him. It was Daniel, of course. Nature was my very first friend. I get older, but he hasn't changed a day. I knew then that I had to be more than a companion to him. I had to be a protector. You're not a doppelganger, are you? Trying to study me to learn all my secrets so you can take my place? Save for me, my line perished a long time ago. They rest in high forest now, near the shade of the grandfather tree. The grove became my family, with Sylvanus as my teacher. And now I have you. It was a long time ago. The wounds don't heal, but they become more bearable. I'm 350 years old. Of course there have been lovers. Just because I love nature doesn't mean I'm betrothed to it. Though sometimes nature needs reminding. Well, I didn't pick this scar up in battle. I was in wild shape, only I forgot it was the season when bears are particularly social. A she-bear claimed me as her own and did not appreciate being spurned. Right now, I bed down alone, I'm afraid. Perhaps once I talk less of curses and parasites, my fortunes will improve. I suppose you wouldn't be shocked to learn I love animals and nature? I know. Well-trodden territory. Well then, let's see. I whittle in my spare time, and I've something of a sweet tooth. Although everyone's very amused when I say I like honey. Ornaments, utensils, and ducks. I like ducks. I like what I like. Once you get to my age, you realize there's little point in denying yourself, so long as others aren't affected. Thank me by returning the favor, why don't you? Come on. I'm sure you've something better than carving wooden ducks. Well, they are fierce creatures from what I understand. But as long as you avoid the high seas, I think you can consider yourself safe. Anytime. An unwieldy number. You must cut someone loose before I can join you. Ready at your side. What shall it be? I am ready. What comes next?
shouldn't have wished to live in more interesting times.
I wish we'd gear up and head out.
Look, this is heavy.
All this standing around is making me antsy.
Got to have a plan first. Got to trust Jaheira to come up with one.
I don't.
Our asses. I do.
That's why we're still standing around.
You look like you want to say the magic words, like they're right on the tip of your lips. I sure love it when they beg.
I wish we had a bloody army.
Last night in. We rallied here once, years ago, before the assault on Moonrise Towers. The Archdruid at the time spoke to us all, inspiring our courage. He was a fine leader.
How's the barricade
It ain't pretty, but it can take a beating. It'll need to. Darkness forever.
That's far enough.
His thoughts invade your own, probing for purchase. Your parasite purrs in recognition.
Ah, one blessed like myself. What news, true soul? Who better to suss out his like?
You'll find Z'rell in the audience chamber, true soul. She'll be wanting to hear from you.
Well then, let's not keep her waiting.
Praise the Absolute.
It's risky to enter Moonrise with an unwelcome companion. You can pass as a true soul, but they cannot. Be sure to keep them close, so you can speak on their behalf if the cultists ask too many questions. Steel yourself and venture forth.
This fortress was a seat of the High Heralds, I believe. Long gone from here, of course.
The who now?
A council of intellectuals, respected throughout Faerun. Leading authorities on heraldry, of course, but also history, genealogy, and diplomacy.
Seems like diplomacy failed if they allowed Ketheric Thorm to take over. Twice.
Be no doubt. This is the place. This is where we'll discover the secret of the Absolute.
A moment, true soul. You use a spoon to stir the soup, Barnabas. Forget the axe, my darling. Now, how can I help you? I've shown Barnabas a kinder way. A kinder name is only fitting. That is the gift the Absolute gave me when I stood before her. To rewrite the lives of her faithful. Make them believe there's something better. She gathers many threads for her design, but it is still her design. And Barnabas has found his place in it. Observe. Barnabas, sweetie, come show what a good boy you are. What would you like him to do? The prayer, I think. Barnabas struggles with civilized speech, but he's been practicing.
You feel her will surge outwards and envelop the creature, inexorable as the tide.
Soul. No, Barnabas! We talked about this.
They battle silently for a long moment, the gnoll's heart drumming with strain. Then all at once, his heart stops.
Oh, Barnabas. I'm so sorry, me darling. Oh, he isn't the first to die. Her love is simply too much for some. I hope you will fare better when your time comes. You ascend the tower as a true soul and return as something more, if you return at all. The Absolute is giving you a second chance, loves. Don't waste it.
Moonrise Towers. Many druids and harpers died.
Heard a rumour some do-gooder stopped a horde of absolutists from getting their hands on a load of druids in some grove. Whoever it was, better pray the general doesn't smoke 'em out. Be a bloodbath, so it would.
Araj Oblodra, trader in blood and the sanguineous arts. It is a pleasure to stand before a true soul, and your pale companion. I'd like to offer my services, if you're willing. Put plainly, I'd like your blood. A vial of true soul's blood, specifically. With one drop, I can brew a rather potent potion for you. The rest, I keep for myself. No idea, but it will be unique to you. Your blood essence and the Absolute's blessing intertwined. We can learn exactly what that means together, Research, naturally. A little experimentation, perhaps. I have an innate curiosity for all things sanguine. I'm here, should you change your mind. Although perhaps there's one more thing we could discuss. Your friend. He's a vampire, no? Or one of their spawn, at least.
Oh, don't worry. We're all friends under the Absolute. I won't bite.
Oh, I'd prefer if you did. I assume he belongs to you? Ah, it's like that. Do you have a name, Spawn?
Astarion, but hold on.
Good. Now, Astarion. I've dreamt of being bitten by a vampire since I was a young girl.
I'm sorry, you want to be bitten?
To feel your life's blood slipping away. To dance on the edge between life and death. Yes, I want it. I'll even compensate you. A potion of legendary power that forever increases the strength of the one who consumes it. It's not for sale, but it's yours, if you bite me.
I will have to decline.
Excuse me? This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and you're squandering it.
I gave you my answer.
Can't you talk some sense into your obstinate charge? How very disappointing.
She sees everything we are. Do you understand? There is no hiding from her.
Feline eyes the parasite with a glint in her eye, intent clear. Murder. Glorious murder.
These are the stalking grounds of Steelclaw, furless one. Tread lightly. Fortunately for you, the slithering vermin I hunt has my attention. For now. It is a name I earned through bloodshed and death. Unfortunately, the more ignorant here refuse to use it. Fluffers, they call me. Idiots. Their name matters not, merely their demise. I braved lapping waters and leaking ships to find this prey. I butchered many, and will butcher many more. But this one I toy with. I slice, I tear, and when the time is right, I will bite its head off and bathe in its innards! Luck is not needed. Merely patience and a thirst for blood. Hunt fast and hunt well. Quiet, lest I miss its cries for mercy.
This is the spot that's marked on that map.
What's the story?
Best get going.
Wanna dance?
Still alive. So that's progress.
Monster lives in this tower. Something big.
You'd find better lodgings out in the war camp, True Soul. I know we're all one under the Absolute, but you do not want to bunk with an ogre.
And this was funny when it was just goblins branding arses, but you lot mean business, eh? Ah, a new face come to bask in the light of the Absolute. How can I be of service, True Soul? Of course. Just before some godless lunatic purged the place of every innocent soul. A pity neither of us saw what happened. Nothing worth repeating. Corpses don't much go in for commerce. Here, though, look around. All manner of beasties united against the enemies of the Absolute. Quite a god to bring them all together, and quite a fool who'd draw their ire. Hmm? More concerned that your business might be bad for my business. So don't go kicking the hive while there's still some honey to be had. An honor, true soul.
Bear keeps looking over. I'll feed him his own loincloth.
These are our allies, Erna. I'll handle the diplomacy. You just keep looking pretty.
Brothers, sister, pray with me while we wait.
I'm not worthy. I never learned the words.
Yes, you did. She gives them to you fully formed. Can you hear her?
Of many hearts, one soul. Of many thoughts, one mind.
To stand this close to her power. I never thought I'd make it.
I wouldn't have if not for the Lantern Bearer. To think the Absolute graced such a creature as that.
We are each of us threads in her design. Even those we once called monsters.
Where do you hail from?
I was a farrier in Desarin Valley. Then the dreams came.
My brothers had the dreams too. Same as me. They wouldn't admit it.
The Absolute calls us all to her design. Your family will answer. Eventually.
Well, Flo didn't tell a lie. She said you'd find me, and here you are. Karlach, isn't it?
Now there's a name I'd hope never to hear again. What was Flo doing here?
Didn't think to quiz her about her business.
Florenta the Garotta. A Cambion I knew back in Avernus. She was the closest thing I had to a friend. That said, she would have choked the life out of me if I ever turned my back on her. The fact that she knows where I am, where I might be going, doesn't exactly delight me. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. What did she want, anyway?
She came dressed as a novice. Gave me 3 soul coins. Said I could sell them if I wanted. But if I kept them for you, she'd consider it a favor owed.
Soul coins, huh? Those could come in handy. Cambion, but you're right. Then again, they could really come in handy.
Sure. But she did have a condition. For every coin you take, you've got to hear the story of the soul trapped inside.
There you have it. Flo came all this way just to try to make me feel like shit. Clever use of her time. Memorized a bunch of sad stories on her behalf, did you?
Didn't need to. Your Flo did some devil woo-woo and stuck 'em in my head. Couldn't forget now if I wanted to. Do you want the coins or not? First coin's got the soul of a woman named Maveri. She was born to a cruel mother, and a violent father, and 3 evil brothers, all named Baldur. She never knew a day of love in all her life. When she was a girl of 15, she sold her soul to Tiamat in exchange for someone who would love her unconditionally. She got what she asked for. A fellow named Clint, destined to be her soulmate, struck by a cart and died a few moments after clapping eyes on our Mavery. Poor guy. The scud of her soul is yours now.
Thanks, I guess.
Sure you will. This one has got the soul of a man named Frakes. Lived in a village near Neverwinter. Hit hard by the worst hunger in 1,000 years. Frakes called out for help. Prayed for his children to have meat to eat. Zariel answered. Made old Frakes grow flesh upon flesh after flesh. His wee ones had all the meat they could stomach.
He should have known. Better to die 1,000 deaths than let Zariel into your life.
Whatever you need to tell yourself. Last one's got the soul of a little boy named Ongir. 8 years old. He liked playing in the sun with his friends. That's all I know.
That's all?
That's all. Oh, and this slip of scratch.
Well, thanks, Flo. Hearing a bunch of desperate horror has ruined my day, which I suppose was the point.
You got 3 soul coins out of the bargain, didn't you? I'd quit whinging if I were you. I did my part. That means our business is done. Unless you've got actual gold to hand. Better hope you can handle what I've got.
Your family will answer. Eventually.
Another true soul. The disciple will want to see. Through the main doors.
Back of the line. I'll be the first of us to swear to the General.
Each pack of recruits they bring in is worse than the last. Can't trust them to sweep the stables, let alone swing a sword. No doubt. Isn't for me to question them above me. I'm sure you know your business. I'll see they get all the help they need, true soul. And they'll need quite a bit.
We did as we was told, General. Followed every order.
The facts suggest otherwise. You were ordered to retrieve the artifact. You failed to do so.
Us? No, it was Minthara. She got the orders. She...
Enough!
A blast of mental energy washes over you, filling the room. Your tadpole squirms, urging you to obey.
You failed to retrieve the artifact. You failed to protect your true soul. You do not deserve to live.
A new true soul come to share their wisdom?
We did as we were told. We're loyal to the Absolute. Tell him!
Silence!
True Soul, you have seen these goblins at work, have you not? What say you?
See? What I tell ya? Praise the Absolute.
Faith without action is anemic, sickly, in a word, useless. We are too close to the ending and the new beginning. I can coddle failure no longer. Kill them, quickly.
What? No!
You creaking old bag of shit!
I'm so sorry, my lord. She's an unbeliever outside my control.
Try again. Dispose of the rest as you see fit. Or better yet, put that true soul to use. You have far more important matters to attend to. Or have you forgotten?
Of course not, my lord. Thank you. You heard the General. The goblins are yours. Deal with them however you wish. Here in the seat of the Absolute's power, your authority over them is complete. They will obey any command. Report to me upstairs when you're done.
Please! You gotta help me! For old time's sake! Oh, praise the Absolute! And praise her true soul!
You did the right thing. I'm sure those nasties deserved a bollocking, but we're no executioners. Let's go see what Zarel makes of it.
The seat of the Absolute's power, occupied by a general that cannot be killed. But his followers are flesh and blood. We must learn what fuels his power.
Be a dear and strike me deaf. Our guests are especially sobby today.
A new face. Do as the warden says, when she says, and you'll be fine.
Plant one foot in front of the other. Head forward. Back straight. Make them fear you.
All's well here. The cargo from below has already been taken to the docks.
Don't get too close to the prisoners.
They're desperate enough to try anything.
But we've seen... what? 5 true souls sent for an audience?
And not a single one came back down from the tower top. Must have been unworthy.
Did you request this post too? I'm glad I got the Warden and not Zarel. Don't get chatty with the prisoners, mind you. The Warden won't like that.
Nimble, check for gaps, cracks, anything to leverage the rock. Nichols.
Your conversation has been cut short. These prisoners are for Disciple Balthazar's attention only. Your reasoning is hard to argue with. You're free to speak to the prisoners.
He's probably holed up somewhere planning to...
You ordered that guard about as if you were the Absolute herself. What do you want with us, exactly? Huh. And why would you be so inclined? Those Spitfires? Well, they certainly gave the guards a run for their money. And they'd be a help in the escape. I reckon you and I were meant to meet. I'm Wilburn. We've got a plan, for us and the Tieflings both. But we're scuppered without the right equipment. We need tools, that head case of a Warden robbed ours, but anything that breaks rock will do. Even if it's not Iron Hand quality. Whatever you find, throw it through the bars. But for the love of Gerdor, make sure a guard doesn't see you, or we're both done for. Stone. I'd bet my last copper.
Don't speak to the prisoners. The Absolute forbids it.
I'll get us out of here, Cal. Even if I need to kill everyone.
And I'll be right alongside.
You spark of the familiar. Do I know you, true soul? Perhaps not. Your face is rather bland. Regardless, know this. I am the Warden. The prisoners are my charges, and I answer to Disciple Balthazar himself. Stay on my good side.
Your mind swirls with information about the prison. The small levers behind the warden's desk open every cell, while the larger one triggers the alarm. And interesting items confiscated from prisoners lie above the warden's office, just up the ladder.
If you are going to stare, kindly do it elsewhere. As I said, you are free to roam where you wish, but do not speak to the prisoners. He sounds important, and I'm afraid the mere dregs are the only ones left in my care. Anyone who refutes the Absolute is an enemy of mine, true soul. You would do well to remember that. Indeed. But all are kept out of reach and under constant surveillance in the office above. Prison security is my highest priority. My face might be bland, but yours? It is now carved into my memory forever. A pity you're already failing, then. My, they are letting all sorts become a true soul these days. He is chief advisor to General Ketherick, and one of the Absolute's favored. His necromancy is second only to the General's. It is an honor to serve him.
This is a restricted area. Time to explain yourself, or this guard will be restricting you to a cell. Your words are enough to resolve the matter. Still, you need to leave. Should you attempt such a feat again, you will find yourself on the deserving end of justice.
I have a lot on my mind. And well, in it.
True souls sent for an audience? And not a single one.
Enjoy the view. This feels like it'd stretch all the way to the Sea of Swords on a clear day. If this place... I'm afraid you missed the ship, Trousseau, but there'll be another along soon enough. We're already stacking the cargo. Nothing of note, just supplies for the battle ahead. I've already checked it twice over.
As the symbol glows, power courses through you. Authority. A shadow swims across your vision, and a familiar voice tells you to be calm. You are loved. As you bear down on his mind, you feel a pulse in response. 1,000 pulses, echoing from the nearby crates. Tadpoles. His mind had rejected the knowledge, forced it behind a mental wall. A wall you just took a hammer to.
Worms. Worms in their heads. Worms all over. Parasites. Worms.
You didn't see anything.
Stand clear of the cargo. Respectfully, Trousseau.
Tadpoles? Like, a delicacy? I wouldn't know much about that, Trousseau. I'm just a soldier. Which, speaking of, I'd best go report my man missing. If you'll excuse me.
Your tadpole squirms and feels a legion of echoes in response. The winged serpent of the Zentarim. It seems their pursuit of profit extends even here. A pattern of blank minds, newly born. They carry only a bare shred of memory, inherited from something older. A sleep of centuries. The birth and destruction of a settlement above forming only background noise to the dream. Until something descended down into the darkness, and the dreamer awoke.
It's not too late to stop the cult from using these things. Now's our chance to change them or fry them.
The vat is still, placid. Thousands of tadpoles. The winged serpent.
no surrender.
Let none stand in our way. With haste.
Let's have some carnage. This will do nicely.
No choice but to keep going. Another step forward. I've got something special for you.
Covered.
None can withstand nature's wrath. I see, at once!
This feels good. Keep guessing.
I wonder if this is worth the cost. With haste.
In position.
The scent of blood is in the air.
nothing important is ever easy. At the ready.
Oakfather preserve you.
That put the wind back in my sails.
A parasite, brimming with magic. Take it.